Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. And, Jay Powell in front of Congress again today. Inflation. Oof. It was a very, very big number. Wild markets all over the place. And, of course, tariffs and wars and everything else in between. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And what a crazy, you know what? Every day's crazy now, right? What is Trump going to say today? Right. I don't know. Whose territory are we taking, right? Canada, come on down, right? Panama, come on over. Greenland. I haven't heard Mexico yet. That's something, right? I haven't heard that one yet, but who knows? Maybe, Donald, if you're listening, maybe, how about that, like, sliver, right? Where Tijuana and I think it's, Cabo's there, we'll just take the sliver. We can leave the rest of Mexico, but give us the sliver there at the end of where California and the Sea of Cortez kind of come together. But who knows, Jason, right? It's been another one of these, another year of chaos. Really, the year number 2, the year of chaos continuing. And then we've got massive inflation numbers that came out today, much hotter than expected. Of course, I don't know what they were expecting, but hotter than expected. We had a second day in a row. And these dips in gold, they last, I don't know, an hour, right? Something like that. At one point this morning, gold was down $36, okay? I'm not kidding. As I'm driving to work, gold's down $36. Well, now it's down $1, right? I mean, this is the same thing. Remember, this happened yesterday. Remember, yesterday, gold hit a new intraday high of $29.45. Then there was profit taking. It was down. Then it came all the way back. Silver also starting to show signs of life, above $32. But Wall Street right now, it's going to probably be a down day. The 10-year note, it's just crazy to think about. It was 4.4 Monday morning. It's 4.66 today. I mean, these just massive moves in the Treasury markets as the CPI came in much hotter than expected, up 0.5%. That was the headline, up 0.5%. Of course, if you annualize that number, that's 6%. Right? That's Now, when you work out the last 12 months, they now we're back. Well, according to the Fed, we're back at 3%. I guess, what happened to 2%, right? Don't worry. Jay Powell yesterday said that he thought inflation was well anchored. And I got to believe he saw this number right before he was in there. But, yeah, the headline, back to 3%. Like I said, a 0.5% increase in the month of January. So month over month. And then they, of course, they've got to go in and say, okay, well, the core, right? So the core, that was hotter than expected, up 0.4. By the way, the core now to 3.3%, getting farther away from 2%. And then I love it, Jason. Remember, it was a few years ago they came up with another great idea, right? Because they want to, baffle you with BS, right? Let's talk about this super core. Yes, the super core. See, the headline, we don't care about that, 'cause food and energy, we got to get that stuff out of there. Let's focus on the core. Then the core wasn't any good. Let's go to the super core. Well, not so super, up 0.7%. I've never seen a number that high. That's just crazy. That's month over month, back above 4%. Jason, the super core now at 4.2%. So once again, the Fed, like we've been saying, they really can't control inflation. That was a lie. They made it up. They pretended that they could. But any expectations now people, Jason, are starting to worry. We're not going to get rate cuts. Are we potentially? Is the Fed actually going to have to raise rates? I don't think they're going to, okay? Matter of fact, I don't even think they would talk about raising rates, at least this is just my opinion, until the headline number got to at least 4, because that would be devastation. That would be something that when we talk about big market crashes, if the consensus on Wall Street turned into the Fed's got to start raising rates again, Jason, that would be one of those days where we talk about, okay, is the Dow's down 2,000, 3,000? Did they have to turn the machines off type of a day if that came to fruition?
Yeah, year over year, 4 months in a row that it's up now. If you add up the last 4 years of January year over year, it's 20%. 22, 23, 24, and 25
that's
January.
About right,
20%, and that's the fixed number, so that's more like 40%, right?
Yeah, that's what's happened to the borrowing power and, of course, the use of our dollars. Way to go, guys! Great job! 800-951-0592. Joe and Jason here on this something rocket and fire, and I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I told you so. Told you so. I hope you're going to get ready. The Dow down 400 points today, and that's a gift right now. Like I said, they're worried, but they got their fingers crossed. The S&P's down 40, the Nasdaq's down 100. The 10-year note doing things that 10-year notes are not supposed to do. Right now, 466, and these moves are crazy. This is the U.S. Treasury market. These moves are so massive. Just to go from 4.4 to 466 in 48 hours, that's rare. It's not supposed to work that way. By the way, bond markets across the world all exploding higher. Crude oil is down. Arizona, sorry, I don't know if you saw gas prices. If you haven't paid attention, you can thank California. Yeah, we're right next to California now when it comes to the price of gas. They got refinery problems and whatever that are really affecting. If you go to Yuma, you can get gas for a little over $3, but here in the main part of the valley, $3.60 a gallon. Gold, we've been talking about what a crazy ride gold's been on. Really just kind of skipped 2,800 altogether right now. So gold's down 4 at this second. At one point was down 36. Then the inflation numbers came out and said, right, here we go. 28.95. Silver's up 33 cents. 32.10. You know, yesterday we did our silver spectacular sale. We got some stuff left. We'll go over that. We got a great gold special for you as well, but so many places to go today. The Bank of Korea, we're out of gold. The Korean Mint now saying that they're having trouble sourcing gold. And remember, we talked about Japan and Korea a little bit last year. These guys are new to gold. I mean, they used to, it was, I go back to maybe when I started here, like 0.1% of the American public thought anything about buying gold. Of course, now today, I don't care where I go. I don't care if I'm out golfing, I'm at an event, at a party. The second people find out I'm in the gold business, they want to talk. Well, Korea and Japan were kind of like back when I remember when I saw them, hey, I'm going to go sell gold with my uncle. They're like, why? Why would you do that, right? Who buys gold, right? Well, that's where they're at. And so news breaking in Korea today, not only are they selling out, they're having trouble sourcing. Of course, we've been talking about the shortages that are starting to show up in the exchanges. Shanghai now saying they're starting to experience shortages. And on top of that, big news out of China, Jason, insurance companies. So now insurance companies here, like in the U.S., they buy lots of treasuries, lots of bonds, and really base their business kind of on that model. China has launched a new pilot program that's going to let their Chinese insurance companies buy gold in addition to buying bonds, and already 10 major insurance companies have started in this new pilot program and are going to start entering the gold markets. So, Jason, again, this is one of these things, this storm that's building. When we talk about gold and the physical delivery of the gold, obviously a lot of paper contracts that, hey, only a small percentage of those is supposed to be taken for delivery. And the problem is, even an additional small percentage, all of a sudden, the amount of people taking delivery went from this small percentage, it doubled. That creates huge problems in the ability for these markets to deliver because the actuality is they don't actually have the amount of gold that they claim that they have to make these deliveries. They use the old, we're just going to borrow it, right? We'll borrow it from this central bank or borrow from that. Yeah. Well, a lot of these central banks said, nope, you're not borrowing. Matter of fact, we're going to take it back. And it's causing a lot of problems. But I'm going to watch. We'll see what happens with Korea. But this thing with the Chinese insurance companies, this is big. This is massive. Could all of a sudden, could we see another influx of, $5, $10, $20 billion influx and more physical gold buying? That on itself would really turn the gold markets upside down. And then rumors starting to circulate that the Trump administration may want to revalue our gold, right? To say, okay, hey, we want the deficit to look better. So we've got, instead of, right now they got gold priced at like $42. They were talking about, well, if we price it at $2,900, all of a sudden, that gives us another $750 billion that we have to offset the debt. A lot of things happening, and most of this has come down just in the last, 72 hours or so. All of this news has been coming in.
Yeah, I think just speaking, the number 2,900 actually kind of slowed gold's rise, actually. I think gold would have been higher faster if they hadn't mentioned, well, maybe we should revalue it at 2,900. And that makes everyone think, well, I better not buy it over 2,900. That might have slowed it down for a couple of days. But, Joy, we didn't get far into that piece for the Hunt brothers, but we the guy doing the news piece, which was only 2 weeks after the silver crash in 1980 when they tried to push the Hunt brothers down. They almost crashed the entire American market just off of silver. The same thing looks like is happening with gold right now, and I think they're doing it just seems very convenient that we're in a slow economic moment where, I mean, it's a lot worse economically than the news is saying. And Joe and I see it. People are seeing it, that are business owners, the slowness of customers not buying. People are completely maxed out on their credit cards, and they're selling their gold and silver. And I think the situation where these contracts can't be met, the amount of material, and Joe and I have been covering this in the morning when we talk, the amount of material being melted into deliverable COMEX bars, into 1,000-ounce bars and 100-ounce gold bars, I think is tremendous right now. Because if Shanghai says they're having trouble, and we know that London went from, hey, we'll deliver if you want to get physical, we'll deliver to you in days. Days now turned into months, 2 months to 4 months. And I heard, Joe, they might be pushing 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
Hey, I would like to get my contracts in physical.
Longer.
8 months? 8 months. You're going to get your gold in August? Really? Those are and so I think all the melting that's going on, I don't know if any of the other countries are the same as America. This is to cover these contracts, Joe. This is their way to try to sneak around what's happening. This could crash the entire American market. It's hard to say, but gold shortages could smash the entire American market, and I think this is why they said out loud, maybe we should revalue it, Joe. That might happen. They may revalue this thing, and that could be an overnight thing. Overnight.
It's something like I said. I think all cards are on the table. Jay Powell made some very interesting comments. Again, he's testifying in front of Congress for a second day today. He actually said, listen to this. There is going to be a time when it will be impossible to get a mortgage in parts of the United States. And, of course, he's talking about, hey, no one will insure you. That's kind of what he's saying. How long? Well, 50 years from now? How about 10? Jay Powell, in 10 to 15 years, there will be entire regions of the country where you will no longer be able to get a mortgage, noting that banks and insurance companies are pulling out of these areas. So what is he talking about? I mean, doesn't take a rocket scientist. He's talking about California and Florida. Right? Hello? That is a massive problem. And he's saying that it is going to be happening, like I said, he's saying 10 to 15 years. If he's saying 10 to 15, Jason, it could be as quick as 5. That you could potentially, hey, unless you have all cash and you don't mind if your house burns down or disappears in a hurricane, where are all these people going to live? What is going to happen to housing and inflation? I'm going to give you our toll-free number again. Everyone get ready. We'll get to the other side here. We got a few opportunities left from yesterday, plus a great gold opportunity today, 800-951-0592. And you know what's so funny? That wasn't on CNBC. I go to CNBC's website every day. I go to MarketWatch's website every day. You know, the typical stock guy websites. It wasn't on there. But he said it. They're like, okay, whoa. Right? Shh, don't tell anybody. But, yeah, no mortgages in certain parts of the country. On top of that, and listen, I love Trump. He's been making the headlines, and Doge and Musk, and you hear all the Republicans screaming bloody murder. You know what you didn't hear yesterday? For the first 4 months of fiscal year 2025. Now, they can't release the official numbers because we're at the debt ceiling. But if you know how to do math, you can actually come up with the number. Do you know how much higher the debt is in the first 4 months of this year compared to last year? Just a little bit. Just a little. How about $300 billion more?
All right.
If we did that, now that's 4 months. If we do that the next 4 months and the next 4 months, that's $900 billion. That would put us right at $3 trillion as far as a national debt would come in. Now, I know that everyone's hoping that Trump can cut the government and do all of these things, but Jason, it is staggering how much bigger the budgets are getting. And listen, we got lucky. How bad do you feel for people on Social Security fixed income? You only got 2.5% cost of living adjustment.
It's not going to do it.
Right. The Super Core, by the way, the Super Core is up 4.2. How's that math working for you?
What Jerome Powell said about housing, Joe, because I didn't want to get in there. You were on it. This is how I look at it. That's Jerome Powell saying there's going to be a depression. That's what I just heard. When he says that there's not going to be mortgages allowed for swaths of the country, that's his nice way of saying a depression's coming. That's just what I heard. You got to when it comes to these Fed guys, you got to kind of listen to what they're meaning and not really what they're saying. And it's so dry and boring, it's hard. But from what you just said, Joe, that's Jerome Powell saying there's a depression coming. And I'll bet he's saying it because he knows he's not going to be around when it happens.
Nope, he sure isn't. He's got, 1 year? He's out of here. Patriot Radio News Hour, we'll be back. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour, Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. And again, if you're just joining us, red hot inflation numbers coming in today. Jay Powell yesterday. I don't mean to laugh, but you're not going to get a mortgage in basically Florida, California, and a few other places in the country going forward. All kinds of and you got to remember, this is really pre-Trump. Because, Trump didn't get in office till the 21st. None of the tariffs are in here. And by the way, more tariffs coming. Donald Trump was out trying to say interest rates should go lower to go with the tariffs. It's not going to happen. This is kind of a storm that you need to get ready for. We have incredible opportunities in gold and silver today. We started this yesterday. Today on the gold side, I've got 25 $20 gold pieces. I'm going to pair it up with a gram of gold, those 1 gram gold bars. Right now, gold's down $2, $28.96. You're going to get the $20 gold piece and the 1 gram gold bar for $28.95. Now, I went and looked. These 1 gram gold bars, everyone's selling them between $115 to $125, right? Everybody out there. I think the one guy was like $113.47, right? But pretty much everyone's right around the 115, 120. There's some guys that are 125. So you're going to get a $20 gold piece and a gram of gold on top of it, all for essentially the spot price. So if you just said, well, let's just give it the gram of gold's $100, because but by the way, cost on a gram of gold today is $101. That's cost. If I had to go buy a gram bar from my wholesaler, it cost me $101. So really, if I gave you the gram of gold that cost, you're buying the 20 at $100 below spot. On top of it, you get the gram of gold at cost, right? What a great opportunity. We only got 25 of them. So you get a $20 gold piece and a gram of gold for $28.95. You can buy one. You can buy them all. I don't really care. Yesterday, we had a bunch of silver available yesterday.
Let me say something about the gold real quick, because just so you understand. So we got gold at essentially $28.95. We're selling these at $28.95, right?
Right.
Okay, so 1 gram of gold in ounces is 0.035 ounces. So if you add that to, because obviously a $20 gold piece is not exactly an ounce of gold, but if you add the 1 gram gold bar, you're slightly, just very slightly over an ounce of actual melt gold. So we're literally selling the $20 gold piece and the 1 gram gold bar for less than melt. Just a little tiny bit, but we're below melt. This is gold below melt.
Right. That's assuming it stays at $28.95. Right? I mean, how soon until we're at $3,000? This is a huge opportunity at 800-951-0592. All the following silver items are going to be below cost. I have some MS-63 Morgan dollars. They're at $55. That is below cost. A cost on a 63 Morgan dollar, $60. I have some MS-64. By the way, I've got like 10 of those. I've got some MS-64 pre-21 Morgans. $75 again. Below cost. And then I still have, which is really kind of shocking, I still have some of these MS-69 rolls, PCGS. I'm sorry, not MS-69, PCGS First Strike 2008 Silver Eagles. They put them in their own little case, stuck a bunch of PCGS stickers all over it. They are... Right now, for me to buy a sealed, backdated case of Silver Eagles, I'm going to tell you exactly. Hold on here. Let me get to it. Silver's $32.16. It would cost me $34.66 or $693.20. These are $695. So... $1.80 above what it would actually cost me, and I've got like 5 rolls of those left at $6.95. Just ask the girls because I know that's a lot. But the $20 gold piece and the 1 gram gold bar below melt. That's just, it's incredible here. By the way, now here you go. Gold's $28.97, so now it's getting even better here. 800-951-0592. J.P. Morgan. There's nothing in these reports suggesting the Fed should lower interest rates. Duh. Wow. That's a real brilliant observation. The Fed has lost the opportunity to cut rates further. These are all these economists chiming in now about this. Oxford Economies. This is not good. And with a slew of tariffs coming that have yet to make their way into the inflation data, if this persists over the next few months, inflation risk may become too heavily weighted to the upside. We don't expect the Fed to cut at all this year. Another one, Global X. Hey, this is a tough report. Further tariffs going to make it worse. This is unhelpful. Now, here's the thing I forgot. Today, we're refunding the Treasury. Today, we're doing the 10-year notes. $42 billion. No wonder why the 10-year note today, Jason, is skyrocketing. Based with this number, right? And again, right? More interest got to be paid here. Don't let it pass you by. What a great opportunity. We'll be back after the break.
The number to buy gold, 800-951-0592. Joe is on the phones. Some of these specials, they blow right out the door. Sometimes they don't sell super fast, so I don't know how many of these we have. We'll try to get an update. But 1972 was the last year that an ounce of gold was less than $50. Okay, so we don't sell a lot of gold eagles, 1 ounce gold eagles, but that's the coin that the mint started making in 1986, and it has a $50 coin value, right? So when they have the value of gold at $42, $50, you keep the coin value above the value that they put gold at. If there was to be a reevaluation at $2,900, they'd have to make new dies for the 1 ounce American Gold Eagle, and it would have to be $3,000. So where it says $50 on the coin, it will have to say $3,000. Now, if the last time that gold was below $50 was 1972, because they keep the value of gold at $42, and we've been nowhere near $50. Joe was a baby. He was like 2 years old, I think. I wasn't even born. What do you think is going to happen to gold revalued at $2,900 with a 1 ounce Gold Eagle coin at $3,000? It's not going to be $2,900 or $3,000 gold. A revaluation is going to be, Jerome Powell talked about depression. People not getting mortgages will happen about the same time, maybe in 6 months. So we are offering gold below melt. This could easily be one of those moments where 6 months from now, and Joe knows I got a pretty good memory, 6 months from now when gold's at some ridiculously high price, or who knows what's happened, and I'll say, I remember when back around Valentine's Day, we had it below melt, and people were saying it's too expensive. It's $2,900. It's too much. $2,900 gold isn't very expensive if you start talking $8,000 gold. Revaluing is any number they put on it, because they need to shore up all their bad behavior for the last 30, 40, 50 years and so on. So we have a 1 gram gold bar, which is 0.035 ounces of gold, with a $20 gold piece, which has a melt weight of gold of 0.9675. That's just slightly over an ounce of gold, and we're selling it for $28.95, and gold is above that. And so you're getting gold below melt. In the years that I was buying and selling gold before I joined Patriot, no one offered me gold below melt. I didn't get that opportunity. And now I'm here on the air doing it. I'm happy that I joined Patriot, but I never got that opportunity. And so I guess if you guys want to let it go by because you're waiting for whatever, some special or some dip in the gold price, go for it. You can just wait. But I'll be saying I told you so in the future, Joe, because we don't get to do this very often. It's just the way the markets are, right, Joe? This is where we're at. The big guys, the biggest players want all of it. They want you to be poor. They want you to not have any money. They want you to send it into us. We ship it off to a distributor because we can't sell it on the air, and they just melt it. They're melting everything. Everything's silver. It really is the Hunt brothers. It's just going to the biggest people in the world. It's not just going to some savvy business brothers. But it's all being melted, Joe. It's all being melted. It's all being melted. They're melting half-ounce and quarter-ounce gold eagles now. They're melting 1 ounce gold eagles. A 2024 gold eagle, if you sell it to the wrong retailer distributor, they're sending it right to the smelters. And the smelters, which weren't very busy just a couple years ago, it's taken them weeks and weeks to get this stuff processed. It's not an easy process, Joe. That's why it costs so much. Gold's a precious metal.
And it's getting worse, and I think this is part of the problem here is these big players, and it's hard to translate for people how much different it is when you have countries and central banks and sovereign wealth funds, now insurance companies, buying these quantities of gold. You've got to understand, $1 billion is nothing now. That's nothing to them, right? But there's not the physical gold and silver to meet the overwhelming demand, and this is what they're doing. I've never seen anything like this. They are melting down everything. And guess what? That should be driving. The price should be getting hammered. Hammered. Oh, my gosh, there's so much physical gold. It should be getting hammered. Instead, what is it doing? It's hitting all-time record highs. Why? Because these vaults, they're 6 months behind.
Yep.
They need the metal. It's not there.
And Joe, real quick, gold was down a slight bit yesterday. It's kind of just not going up today so far. Gold ETF, GLD.
It just went positive, so we'll see.
It just went positive. But listen to what's it drugged the last 2 days. It's been going up, just grinding upward. Gold ETFs, GLD, that kind of resembles the spot price very closely. Well, when that is selling off and our spot price sits or goes down a little bit, most likely what's happening now it's not a paper sell-off. It might be a gold physical take. You physically take the gold, that goes off the ETF. And it's not how big are these players that are getting the physical? Well, that stuff that just came over from London, maybe that's what that is. And it didn't dent the price. There's that much, because a lot of people, if they can't get the physical, they're going to put it in gold ETFs. They're going to keep feeding that beast. And there's people that are taking the gold in this. Why does this have the feeling that there's very rich players that are getting rid of their gold ETFs into physical and panicking everybody else to get into the paper if they can't get the physical, or just selling it that way, Joe? And Joe's right. It should be cratering. The gold ETFs should be cratering with all the the physical pulling. And Joe, there's more people piling in. It's just not going to stop, I don't think.
800-951-0592. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Again, we got just a smorgasbord of opportunity here. We got some $20 gold pieces with a 1 gram gold bar. So you get over an ounce of gold. Gold right now is now up $2, 2,900 and change. This is 28.95. So you're well below melt. And listen, I'm going to say this to everybody out there. I don't know what's going to happen at this auction today. $42 billion in 10-year notes. That's a lot. That's a lot. They got to refund the Treasury. That's what they're doing. And tomorrow it's the 30-year note, which is really hard to sell. We could see one of these auctions that not great. No, the big tail auctions, and usually, all of a sudden you see the gold price jump again. That could be very possible here. Get on this while you can. And then, of course, these graded Morgan dollars, whether it's the 63 or the 64s, I mean, we're well below cost here. This is something where, forget about retail. I'm not talking about retail. I'm talking about cost. At 63 Morgan, by the way, not 21s. These are pre-21s. 63s, MS63 Morgan dollars, $55. 64s at $75. How we have any Joe, of these PCGS silver rolls at $6.95? I don't understand. I mean, it's insanity.
For those that don't understand what at cost means, think about a local collectible coin show in Arizona, Colorado. I know that there's one coming in March. You can literally buy these coins and then take them to the coin show and sell it to them and make money on it. That when Joe says we're below cost, that means very likely you could take it to a dealer in one of these coin shows and they'll buy it for you at cost at least, and you would make money on it. So we're just offering it to you because we got it at a good price, and it's sitting there begging to be bought. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It will get sold, right, Joe? But all the stuff we have gets sold. We're just trying to get our customers. I'd
rather sell it. Hey, listen. Here's what's happening. Simple. I'd rather sell it to you than back to the wholesaler. Give you the opportunity. By the way, gold's now up 5, right? 29.03, 29.04. Get ready, 3,000. Everybody get ready. 800-951-0592. And we'll see what it seems like every day. There's something else that is getting ready to come. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the inflation number today, not a great number. Donald Trump doing his best to talk rates down and wanting the Fed. I mean, Trump gets it. He's like, hey, Fed, just lower the rates because I got the tariffs coming. We got to, try to help out. But here's the problem. Look at what the bond market is doing. The Fed has lowered a full basis point already, and yet the 10-year note's a full basis point higher, right? It's not working here. And this avalanche of debt is going to be a problem again in today's market. And then tomorrow, we've got the 30-year notes that they have to sell to prop up the Treasury's checkbook. And at least through the first 4 months, these deficit numbers, right now, forget about $2 trillion right now. Now, hey, how close to 3 are we going to get 3? And then what happens after 3, right? Well, I know what comes out. I know how to do math. 4, 800-951-0592.